ಮತ್ತೇನಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇವತ್ತು ವರ್ಷಿಣಿ? ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಅರ್ಥನೇ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಹುಡುಗರು. ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ವಿ ತಾನ, ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಏನು ಅಂತ, ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇರ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ. ಹ್ಮ್ ಸರಿ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿದಾರ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿ. ಹ ಏನಾರು ಒಂದ್ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾ ರೀಸನ್? ಓಕೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಯೋತ್ಸವದ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ನವೆಂಬರ್ 1 ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಯೋತ್ಸವ? ಹ್ಮ್
ಸರ್, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಏಕೀಕರಣ ಆಗಿದ್ದಿನ ಸರ್.
ಹ್ಮ್
ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಏಕೀಕರಣ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ದಿನ ಸರ್.
ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಏಕೀಕರಣ ಆಗಿದ್ದು. ಓಕೆ, ಹೇಳಮ್ಮ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ November 1. ಸೊ ಇದು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾತ್ರನ November 1 ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್? ಫಾರ್ ಅದರ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್? It's November 1 is only like for Karnataka important, or for other states also is it important? How many states? See, as per Reorganization Act of 1956, State Reorganization Act 1956, okay, 14 states were formed on November 1. One among them is Mysore state. Okay, so Mysore state was also formed on November 1. So later in 1973, again it was renamed as Karnataka. Okay, so that is the significance. Earlier, before independence in 1929, actually those who are at the Congress at the top, they accepted, okay, we will make linguistic based states. But after independence, suddenly U-turn. In 1947 itself, or by 1950 itself, we would have formed all these states, right? Why 1956? Because in 1956, means in those 6 years, actually they made U-turn. No, we cannot. ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಇವತ್ತು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಲೆಬ್ರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೋಗಿದ್ರೆ ಕರೆದಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಬರ್ತಿದ್ವಲ್ಲ. ಏನಮ್ಮ
ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
ಓಕೆ, ಅಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಅದೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ಸೆಲೆಬ್ರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸೆಲೆಬ್ರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ನಾವ್ ಯಾವ್ದಕ್ಕೂ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್, ಓದ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಓದೋದು, ಎಂಜಾಯ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಎಂಜಾಯ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. Actually, they made U-turn. Why sudden U-turn? Earlier they accepted. Okay, when Motilal Nehru made a report, so he said that even Jawaharlal Nehru also or Gandhi also, everyone was in the view that okay, we'll make state like language-based states, linguistic states. Suddenly U-turn. Why? Sudden U-turn. Why? Because at that time they were not knowing that Pakistan will be formed. So suddenly a religion-based nation was formed. They were having a fear. Tomorrow, so Karnataka people will make their own nation. Tamil Nadu will make its own nation. Maharashtra will become one more nation. Because they are having single identity, they will fight and they will become one nation. That's why they did not accept. So they made like group A, B, C, D. 4 categories of states. Got it? 4 categories of states. But later, one by one, they started fighting. In 1953, okay, in Andhra, means later it was known as Andhra. Okay, so Potti Sriramulu started fasting. That means we need a state that is on the basis of language. So after doing a 56 days of hunger strike, so actually he died. So you know that after death, it became intense. The movement became very strong. So suddenly government announced in 1953, I think October, okay, Andhra will be the language-based state. When one option is given to one state, that to one language. So movement started everywhere, including Karnataka. So Karnataka also started, not only Karnataka, other places. So then they formed a committee. Okay. So first they make SK Dhar committee to look into the issue. But they also suggested no, language-based formula is not good. Administrative convenience should be considered. Again, fight. Then forms one more committee. Okay, first committee in 1948, but they did not accept. Okay, another committee, JVP committee, that is Jawaharlal Nehru, Vallabhbhai Patel, and Pattabhi Sitaraman. So they also did not accept. Then Potti Sriramulu starts hunger strike and dies. Then they make one more committee, Fazal Ali committee. Fazal Ali committee. Okay, Fazal Ali. So finally, they accepts. Who? Fazal Ali committee accepts. Got it? But not like only one formula. Language also one criteria. Culture should be considered. Homogeneity should be there. Single culture. So on that basis, and also administrative convenience should be there. And burden should not be there on the state too much. Okay. One new state means too much burden, right? So considering all these things, they allowed, because of after that State Reorganization Act was passed in 1956, November 1st, 14 states were formed. As per that, 14 states were formed. Now it has become double. Okay, 14 states and 6 union territories were formed. After that, it became okay. So Karnataka, so Mysore was one among them. Later it was renamed as Karnataka in 1973 because Mysore actually originally Mysore was under British and that was recognized. Remaining all parts were like Hyderabad, Karnataka, okay, Bombay, Karnataka, Madras, Karnataka. So like that it was divided. Okay, so means all united only. Then they formed a Mysore. But later, okay, better name is Karunadu. Since from the ancient time, so Mysore is representing one small area, one small place. Okay, better will make it as Karnataka. Okay, so that is the meaning. Why? What is the meaning of Karnataka? Black soil. Okay, so then originally Maharashtra was for Karnataka. Originally, why? Because from Godavari to Kaveri, Karnataka was spread. Okay, so Maharashtra, big place, big nation. That is the name actually for Karnataka. But later, because means language basis segregation started, and present Karnataka, actually so many parts were left out. Some parts are there in Maharashtra. Even Solapura, if you go today, they completely speak in Kannada. Okay, completely they are in. Even Madhya Pradesh, they speak completely in Kannada. Even today, people say no. So simply they are saying how they will go there and settle. No, that means it was spread, but somehow it was left out. Still they speak in Kannada only. Okay, I think Chidananda Murthy has did research and shown that. So people are there. Okay, so the meaning Maharashtra, but anyway Maharashtra is given to others thing. But Karnataka, Karunadu means the place is which at higher place. Multiple things are there, not just one. Okay, even emotional things are also there. Karunadu means higher place. For example, Pallava, you say Pallava, right? Pallava means what? Halla means lower place. Palla, Halla. Okay. Earlier, pa means ha means pa. Okay. So, Pallava means Halladavaru anta. The lower place. Karunadu, higher place. So, Bendre says, this is Kammittu Nadu. That is why it is Karunadu. Means, which gives fragrance. Emotional things, don't go for them, just for understanding. Kammittu Nadu means it gives fragrance. That is why it is. Okay. And another thing says, because of the black soil. Because of the black soil. So, okay, it is called as Karunadu. And another thing is like earlier here the dairying, okay, Pashu Sangopanela. So from there also they derive some name. Okay. Then another is in Bruhat Katha, it is mentioned Karnata. Okay. So referring to this place. Okay. So that also they considers. So many things are there. But geographically, means higher place. Yes, it is in elevation compared to ocean. It is at the higher place. Karunadu. Karnata. From there it is Karnata. Okay, Mahabharata also will get one mention. So Karnata. Bruhat Katha it is there. So from there, okay, Karnataka. Okay. Actually, it was like Hyderabad, Karnataka. Okay, Madras, Karnataka. Now they want to rename it as, why you want to recognize by that? You call it as from the freedom fighter, Kittur, Karnataka, you can call it as Kalyana, Karnataka from Basveshwara. Correct? So, Mysuru is Mysuru only. So like that, you can rename them. But anyway, there's like, it has become norm to recognize like, okay, Hyderabad, Karnataka. Correct, no? So even the reservation is also based upon that only. Hyderabad, Karnataka. Okay. So, yes. Even ISRO chairman got that award, right? So many people are there. Okay. In case exam and all, they will ask. So focus on those aspects also. Just small thing you should be at least aware of. Hmm? ರಾಜ್ಯೋತ್ಸವ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದ್ರಿ just for learning point, 2 articles are there even about speaker itself. Okay, if Shinde is disqualified, so he will not be like, he will lose his post MLA immediately. I cannot also contest for elections if he is disqualified. So how he can continue as CM? So they are telling we'll make him as MLC. He cannot contest for MLA post, right? We'll make him as MLC and he'll remain same. No worries for that. So like that, Fadnavis is saying, but what is the constitutional? If such situation happens, then only we'll realize. Got it? So give up impropriety and demonstrate impartiality. So this is about the same speaker only. Okay. So I think for 4-5 days back, one article was there. No, news item was there. Supreme Court directed speaker, please close the disqualification issue as soon as possible, because there is no time limit. So it's taking so much time. Nimgottu already like recently that Prajwal Revanna's disqualification. Another 5-6 months are there. So now it has come. Correct, no? So he will go to court stay, another 6 months will be over then. So now if you are delaying like this, that is not good. Disqualify means the person need to be disqualified, means it should be done earlier. In the same context, this heading, give up impropriety, demonstrate impartiality. Don't favor one party. Okay. So in polity class also we have discussed, and here also the same topic is being taken, how he should behave. And about the dignity of our court. Even after telling also, he has not done that. Next ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ವಾರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಡೂ ದಟ್ ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್ಡ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಡಿಗ್ನಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಅವರ್ ಕೋರ್ಟ್. ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಫೀಲ್? ವೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಡಿಗ್ನಿಟಿ? If someone feels that this was a stricture passed by the local court, no, this is not by local court, by the highest court. Okay, the words are of the Chief Justice of India. Adikkene maryade illa andre henge? Who felt despair over the inaction by Maharashtra Assembly Speaker with respect to the disqualification petitions of its members that has been pending before him since July 2022. Almost ಎಷ್ಟು 3 months ಆಯ್ತಾ? Okay, sorry, more than 1 year. So that is not good. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ Supreme Court ಹೇಳಿದೆ, but even then they are not taking. As the presiding officer of Lok Sabha and also legislative assembly, speaker means there is their responsibility. The speaker is required to act impartial manner. Okay. So he is comparing even again Britain and also here how it is happening. So this is talking about the history. In the medieval Britain, at that time, the House of Commons what we call Lok Sabha here. That is House of Commons. That is same thing. Meaning is same. House of Commons means local people. Okay. So House of Commons needed spokesman of their dealings with the king. Until 17th century, speaker was often seen as the agent of the crown. So that was the thing, correct. But later, by middle of the 19th century, they made that he should be impartial chairman. He should be. So there also it was like this. See, that is what is the scope for reforms that you have to understand. Always it will be like that. So here also the things will change. While telling about speaker, I said this. Again, something like this should happen. Then only Supreme Court will become strict and some timeline, everything. Then they will become. Next time it will be followed. So in 19th century, they thought that, okay, he should be neutral person. So what they did for that? They made him politically neutral person. He has to resign. He has to resign and become the speaker. Okay. In India, what is the provision? No need to resign. But is there any provision at least?
Yes,
actually, in the disqualification, it is there, but it is not mandatory. If he wants, he can resign and sit in the speaker post. Okay, disqualification act is there. No, it is mentioned there. But no, till now, nobody has done that. So they are attached to their party position. Under Indian Constitution, Lok Sabha and Legislative Assembly select two of its members as a speaker and deputy speaker. Apart from traditional roles with respect to conduct of business, speaker performs two important functions. One is money bill. Another is disqualification under the 10th schedule. These are two important. We have discussed. Okay. In Lok Sabha as well as in State Legislative Assembly, it provides for suspension of members for the misconduct of the House. Okay. But we are seeing that it is being misused. Okay. So in interview, if they ask this question to you, what will you answer? So the speaker post is being misused. Always the party decisions will be upheld. So what's your opinion on this? What will be your answer? It is. Answer in interview they will ask this. Okay, speaker position is being misused. Okay, so always the ruling party will takes into its favor, and so what will be your answer?
Which is mentioned in the disqualification that he has to resign. He can resign.
Not talking theory. They are asking practically. The speaker post is like become a puppet of ruling party. Okay. What is the difference? I agree. That is really valid point. Whether she has understood or not, but I am telling what she mentioned is correct. Sir, post has not become a puppet. The person, that means everywhere all are not behaving the same. Some people may be behaving like that. By that, you cannot say that it has become puppet. Correct? That person, for example, somebody is involved in a corruption. All posts are not like corrupt. That person is corrupt. That is the meaning of that. Okay. So you are not supposed to be careful. That's what. While reading, you will read all those things and you will remember these things very strongly. You should not talk like, yes, sir. In recent Maharashtra case, in Karnataka case, yes, sir, we have seen and speaker post is like. So you should, how you will answer? ಹೇಗೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? Even that is not okay. Means that is not wrong, but the way to answer is not correct.
So we can give them example, like
One
where
second.
it was nice and where it
Jora
was.
Kedama.
So we can give them example. Ellie, it was not against the
So
constitution
you need
where
correct
it was
that
to.
you have to show the examples where they have become acting impartially. So you must start with the positive thing only, even though they are telling negative. You must tell like, sir, one or two incidents, it cannot be like 100% correct. So we have seen many posts where otherwise opposition people cannot talk at all. So they are giving chance to opposition parties to speak. They are giving permission to introduce private bills. They are asking, means allowing in the question hour, 0 hour to ask the questions. This is all like acting as a neutral only, right? If there are like no questions, you cannot also, no, means it is the privilege of the speaker. Right? It is their wish. Okay, I will not allow means what you will do. So they are doing all those things. Okay. So like that, you have to start positive. No, sir, it is not completely correct, or I beg to differ from you. The speaker post is not like just a puppet in the hands of ruling party. We have seen so many cases, means every day in state legislative assembly or in Lok Sabha, how speaker allows the ruling party members and also opposition party members to participate in the and many things are referred to committees. Committees are consisting of opposition party members only. If he don't want to favor those people, means give opportunity to the opposition party people, so then no bills will be sent to committees. But we are seeing that in almost all states and also in Lok Sabha. Okay, in some cases, arguments are there. They are not sending to committee. Fine. But in many cases, they are sending to committee. Okay. So, as there is both good and bad associated with everything, here also we can see some cases where the speakers are favoring the native party. Okay. So, like this, you have to answer. You should not, okay, yes, sir, you are right. In Maharashtra, it has happened. Karnataka, it has happened. Okay. Then gone. They're checking your personality. Okay. So, don't be so negative. Here, they're talking about that topic only. We have to analyze, but your mind should be tuned for that. Okay. So, in reason, that is the problem. So, we are reading like this. Okay. So, always you need to understand what is the positive side of this also. Then it answer becomes complete. The leader of the Congress, Lok Sabha, okay, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. I hope you know that. He made some comments against the Prime Minister. Suddenly, he was suspended. Because he is talking about ruling party head. But later it was revoked because of opposition. But at least they did it. But somebody from the ruling party also commented something. The speaker did not take any action. So that is showing that he is not acting impartially. He is doing some biased decisions. Okay. So, and last year, 12 BJP MLAs were suspended for 1 year. Suspended for 1 year. But Supreme Court said that you are not doing injustice to these 12 MLAs. You are doing injustice to the people of those constituencies. For 1 year, they cannot participate in the proceeding, means that their problems will remain unaddressed. So, it is not a punishment to these MLAs. No, it was rightly said. You can use it to punish for small thing. You can send a student outside for 5 minutes as a punishment. You cannot tell you cannot come for my class for 6 months. You are doing complete injustice to. Purpose should be to punish, but not to, take away all his, basic rights. So that was very important, line said by the Supreme Court. The Speaker is the authority to refer bills introduced to the parliamentary standing committees. So I told that means they are giving opportunity. Here they are telling negative. I told positive side of this. Okay. Even significant bills require detailed scrutiny are not referred to such committee. They are telling opposite. So farmer bill, example, they did not send it to committees. Got it. Otherwise, they will scrutinize and tell that this is a wrong thing. So better changes. Alva. As against more than 60% of the bills referred to the committees in Lok Sabha during 4 and 14, less than 25% have been referred during. See, this is important point. Because for criticism, this is important for you. Less than 25% bills are referred in this period. Okay, compared to earlier period. Earlier, at least 60% of bills were sent for committees. Now that is coming down. That shows that speaker is, or it is not just speaker, the party is deciding. And he is listening to them, means that is what he is acting partial. Such partisanship by speakers affect robust parliamentary functioning. It is their role in deciding disqualification petition can derail the stability of the elected governments. Correct? That is true. If they suspend someone, government will fall. Do not suspend, government will come to power. So that's what elected governments will be under the mercy of speaker if he starts doing like that. Okay. Clairvoyance, a French writer. Okay. He says the more things change to miss. It is the line that suits Indian politics even today. Okay. See, you need to remember such lines and write in the exam. The more things change, the more they stay the same. What is the meaning of that? You are bringing so many new acts and all to punish them, to stop those activities. But what is happening? Even after this disqualification act passed, correct, no? Whether the party changing people are like they are doing the same thing. They are using other tricks. That's it. Instead of directly joining, they are refraining resort politics. Somehow they are ensuring that agenda is reached. Other party should come to power. Yes, they will do that somehow by violating whip, whatever it is. So then what is the purpose of this new law? So that is what they are telling. The more things change, the more they stay the same. You are changing so many things, but still it is the same. Okay, that is what is happening in Indian politics. Okay, that's what they are finding ingenious methods to circumvent the anti-defection law. We have seen that with example. Okay. How they will overcome that? If you change the party, then it is a problem. They will not change the party. They will not come for voting. Ultimately, they will reduce the total number and they make them to win. For majority, if 111 number is required, okay, if these people are not coming, the total strength will come down. It is not saying that 50% of the members. So simple majority is required. Sarala Bahumata. So out of 200%, if 101 are there, 101 vote are there for one party, they will become the government. That is what happened in the last time. Even though 104 seats were there for BJP, they formed the government. They are not supposed to form because those people were absent. So number came down. Correct? Automatically they got majority. So they know the tricks how to play. That's what. Even so many reforms, something that is of no use. Authority to decide on the disqualification under 10th schedule is vested in speaker. Okay. He is expected to act in a neutral manner, but we have seen how it is being misused. Okay. Two cases they have mentioned. One is in Kihato Holohan case. Minority judges they are telling. What is the meaning of minority judges? That means decision will be something else. Out of 5 judges, at least 2 people are saying opposite. No, we are not supporting. So in that way, that's why it is the meaning of minority judges. So view that vesting the power to decide on defection is speaker violates the basic democratic principle. Very important line. In Kihoto Holohan case, they are telling it is not in line with the democracy. Not in line with the democracy. Okay. So why it is they are saying that in democracy everyone should handle the equally. But here somebody is there who is belonging to one party. How he will act equally? So that is the meaning of Supreme Court judges. That's why it's very important. Other people will say that is fine, but the Supreme Court has highlighted. The Supreme Court in another case also saying that Parliament amend the Constitution to vest these powers in independent tribunal. So better make an independent tribunal to handle this disqualification cases. I think that decision that is correct. You can for disqualification. I am not telling to change the speaker. Only for disqualification that tribunal should decide. So then it is possible to act impartially. Okay. The present indictment of the Speaker of Maharashtra Assembly is also due to his continued inaction deciding the disqualification petition more than a year. Okay. And also we have seen how they will be misusing this certification of the bills. The normal bills also they say it as money bill. So that they are taking away the powers of Rajya Sabha. They cannot do anything except for 14 days delay. So once a speaker, always a speaker. Yes, that is Britain concept. Now, earlier there was also one-sided. The adage, the sauce for goose is a sauce for gander. That means if it is applicable to one person, it should be also applicable to other person. It should not be one-sided. That is the Gade Mata. So the sauce for a goose is a sauce for the gander. Reflects the role of the speaker is expected to play. That means he has to take ruling party as well as opposition party in the same manner. Okay. In Britain, speaker once elected his office resigns from the political party. Okay. In next election also he is a speaker. Okay. I'm a neutral person. Please vote for me like that. Okay. So even in the 10th schedule, there is a provision. They can resign from their political party and being elected to their office. But nobody has done that. Okay. Nobody has done that. This can be asked in prelims. Can anta word kotiritare, correct? Can. Because other person cannot do like that. Other person means other than means speaker can resign and sit in the same place. But if other people is other person is resigning, other MP or someone, he will lose his seat. But speaker will remain as okay. So can that provision is not enabled, it's not used, nobody has done that. Okay. That's it. So that's why, so speaker should, that is the debate now. So something should happen. Okay. So either some separate tribunal, that is also good thing. Separate tribunal is good thing if it is done. An unfolding economic tragedy. Okay. Okay. So those who are not aware of national income, for them, I'll brief it for 2 minutes, then we can see this article. So usually we call it as GDP, right? What is GDP? Other word for national income. Just understand about national income. So what is national income? So in simple words, if you take the sum of all the production in the country, that is the monetary value of all the goods and services production in the country, that is national income. See, for your family, you will include all the family income, right? The same whole India's income. We can recognize it in 2 words. One is like we call it as domestic income, another is national income. But in recognition, we will not say it as domestic income or national income. Both are recognized as national income. Nobody said domestic income or national income. Only they recognize it as national income. But famous word is GDP, gross domestic product. That means the India's total income. Okay. There are Indians' income and India's income. What is the difference? India's income and Indians' income. Suppose your family. Okay. In your family, there are 3 persons. Together, their salary is 30,000. Is it family income or home income? Both are correct. Family income is also 30,000. Home income is also 30,000. From person from other family X stays in your house as a paying guest. Okay. His salary is another 10,000. Now tell me. Home income is 40,000. 40,000. He is also in your home. Home income is 40,000. Family income is 30,000. He will not give it to you. Got it? Maybe for paying guest, he may give you 1,000 rupees. You can say 31,000 is our home income. Okay. So home income and family income, there is a difference. India's income is just within India, what is the amount produced? Indian income means even those who are working abroad, Indians, that is also count. Okay. This GDP calculation only counts like this. Okay. So there are many things are missing in the national income. For example, many household people are working. Their income is not counted because you are giving them in cash and they are using it. Nowhere it is recorded. So that's why it is called as means GDP is not accurate measure. Second thing, it is not talking about the negative effects. For example, one cement industry is saying that my income is 100 crore. Please add it. Correct. 100 crore is correct. But it is doing pollution. Because of that, so many people are suffering health problems. For that, government is spending 50 crore. That income should be minus, right? So that is not done in the calculation. So that is why that is means another problem. Positive also is there. Some park, something that is good effect. From that 50 crore is saved health on the health spending. That should be added actually. That is also not done. Okay. And this is not showing the true income of each citizen. It is, for example, in this family income, I said that it is 30,000. All the three people may be earning 10, 10, 10, or one person earning 30,000, other two people are not earning. But when you say per person 10,000 they are earning, sir, like that it will say. So per capita income is 1.5 lakh something is there. All of us are earning the same thing? No. Somebody is earning 10,000 also. Okay. So, Arthagattala, this is the scenario. So that is not counting that. So here an unfolding economic tragedy. And here the Arthaitalva. And now they are always comparing ours is the emerging economy. Ours is the emerging economy. We are always in the compared to other countries, our growth is much better. So that is correct. But if you are comparing an adult versus child, every month you say growth of child, every year you say growth of child versus growth of adult. Whose will be higher? Growth of child will be higher. Correct, no? Adult, it is freezed. So you are comparing an adult with a child and always boosting that hey, our growth is good. So that is common thing. Alva, developing versus developed nation, they are telling. So in developed nation, growth is not there because everything, whatever need to achieve is almost at the peak. That's why that growth is stagnant. Here, there is so much to grow. That's why that growth is being seen. So don't compare that. Got it? That means it is the income is not focusing on quality. That's what quickly we can go through these things. National Statistical Office, okay, announced that GDP had increased to the rate of 7.8%. Okay, so it's almost 8%. Even conservative forecasters routinely project even worst means India, they'll say 6 to 7% growth will be there. Like GDP-centric framing of the alleged Indian economic success is wrong-headed. I explained why it is like adult versus child. GDP-centric framing, just by GDP, don't say that that's what. By family, you say that, oh, that family income is 1 lakh. But that one person is earning 1 lakh, remaining are not earning anything, and he is not giving anything to them. Then was it, is it of any use? That's what they are saying, wrong-headed. GDP is a flawed metric of national economic welfare. That is what I explained. This is not equal to welfare. More GDP does not mean all are happy. Because few people, Adani, Ambani are earning, but other people are not earning. So that it is not reaching everyone. So you cannot say that in economic class we have discussed this in the first chapter itself. GDP does not mean welfare of all. It hides inequalities and deficits attention from acute job scarcity. It is not talking about how much job scarcity is there. It is only talking about how much growth is there, how much money is there. Poor education. It is not talking about education as a parameter. Health. Okay. Unlivable cities, broken judicial system, environmental damage. Nothing is talking. Just talking about last year it was 10 lakh. This time it is 20 lakh. Like that it will. Okay. Feverish celebrations of India's large but unequally distributed GDP hide the struggles of large numbers of people. Large GDP is not the purchasing power. Very important line. Large GDP is not the purchasing power. Just by having large GDP, everyone will not be having the purchasing power. Got it? For India, okay, fastest growing GDP should be a trivial achievement. They are telling, comparing 10-year-old child gaining height to the 20-year-old gaining the height. India is the poorest of the major economies, should grow fastest. Correct. That's why it is growing. Okay. In fact, contrary to the hype, GDP growth has slowed sharply over the past 2 decades. The problem has been weak mass demand. And even that is also coming down because of demand is coming down. In market, people are not showing that demand. Pre-COVID and post-COVID, they are telling. Okay, earlier, before COVID, 9% growth was there. Now it has come down. Okay. Now it is average 6%. Whole world trade itself is coming down after COVID demand sluggishness. Only India is in a much better position. That's what I said earlier also. Okay. So the whole world is under recession. But that impact is always will be affecting us. We are better, but not on about 4.5%. Growth for that year and next 3 jump to okay. And in fact, pre-COVID growth was more dire than the publicized estimate implies. Indian statistical authorities present income from the production as their measure of GDP. That's what I explained. We are just taking how much totally produced. In principle, expenditure on the Indian product should equal income because producers earn income only when they buy their wares. See, this is what always we are talking about total production, that income. On expenditure part, we are not talking. So give equal importance to both expenditure as well as income. That should be the framework for calculation of the GDP. Got it? So, for example, I explained externality.
So can you explain that again?
See, if say we are talking in GDP, what we are calculating, how much actually they are producing, total production. Okay, so that's what they are saying, that in principle, the Indian statistical authorities present income from production as their measure of GDP. Total production they will count. In principle, expenditure on the Indian product by national residents and foreigners should equal income because producers earn income only when someone buys their wares. Okay. So here both should be taken into account. That should match actually. For example, extreme case I said. Some cement industry is externality. Showing the record 100 crore. But because of its problem, pollution and all, what is happening? What is happening? So we are spending on that. That is actually should be minused. But actually we are showing higher than that. Okay. So they are telling about in expenditure part also, expenditure on Indian products by national residents as well as foreigners. How much actually national products are being purchased. So expenditure part also you should count. Just don't say the production part. Artha agattalla? So here they are saying, but expenditure grew at 1.9% in the pre-COVID year. So if both are not matching, that is not proper GDP. That's what they are saying. Expenditure is not increasing. That is what we call it as a normal word, consumption. Consumption should also increase, not just production. Okay. So if consumption is also at the same rate, then market will be positive. If people are purchasing, then more and more products will be produced. Then more people will get employment, more income, more standard of living. Then again, demand will be more. So that data is not matching. That's what they are saying. Consumption is not growing at the higher level now. When income and expenditure growth differ significantly, average of the two more fairly represents the state of economy than by single measure. Just don't take only one thing. Artha agattalla? By averaging method, GDP grew by 2.9%. If you calculate in that sense, it is not 6% or something, just 2.9%. See, criticism point of view, need to understand the concept. What is going on? Just don't take from one side. Don't take from one side. The slowdown from the 9% GDP to 3 to 4% before pandemic reflected severe weakness in the demand. See, now government is easily saying this is because of the COVID, our growth is coming down. They are comparing before COVID itself and before 10 years. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ರೀಸನ್ ಕೊಡೋದು ಈಸಿ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಂಪೇರಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೀ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಇಯರ್ 2019 to 10 years back. 10 years back, the growth was 9%. Before COVID hits, the growth was 3 to 4%. Then what it indicates? That means economies keep on coming slow, weakly. It is weakening. Now it always hangye alva. ಒಂದು ರೀಸನ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಓದಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಹಿಂದಿನ ದಿವಸ ಹುಷಾರ್ ತಪ್ಪಿರುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್, ನಿನ್ನೆ ಹುಷಾರ್ ತಪ್ಪಿಬಿಡ್ತು ಸರ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬಂತು. ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಕಾಗೆ ಕೂರೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಕೊಂಬೆ ಮುರಿಯೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಸರಿ ಹೋಯ್ತು ಅಂತ. That is a concept. That weakness manifested in the glaring drop in the private corporate fixed investment from the peak of 17% to 11%. There one more, this is important data ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ, ಬರ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ನೀವು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳಕ್ಕೆ. In 2007-8 private investment, corporate investment was 17%. In 2019-20, before COVID only they are telling, it has come down to just 11%. Why they have reduced that investment? ಯಾಕೆ ರಿಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ? That means it is not favorable for their business. Environment is not favorable. That's why they have reduced. Private corporation cut back investment, recognizing that domestic consumers fearful of job, earning prospectus, correct now, and also constrained purchasing power. People don't have purchasing power, job cuts will be there, okay, and earning, profit making chances are less. That's why they have cut down that. In post-COVID, economy has bounced around. It fell sharply, recovered modestly, slowed severely, and okay, that means it has come like this. That's what they are telling. We call it as a dead cat bounce. What is the dead cat bounce? Dead cat bounce means one time, means almost it is dead, means by that time always life saving will be like that only. One time it in the first means effort to save the life. So one effort that will put, no, it will jump and die. Dead cat bounce. Almost dead, but still it is trying. So still it is jumping. That is called as dead cat bounce concept. That is used in the economy. What is the meaning? When something is falling, okay, continuously falling, suddenly some rise happens. That is called as dead cat bounce. That means it will not stay there. Again, it will come down. Okay, that's what that from late 22. That means sudden sharp recovery is seen. See, it's too much critical, but I am just explaining the article. I am not of this opinion. How to explain that I am explaining. He is saying that this recovery is not like proper. That is just a dead cat bounce. Going down, some shower, reverse, again it will come down. The only way to assess this bounce is post. Okay. Again, if you measure the average growth, then you can see he's saying that it is the last after COVID, it has become 4.2%. And he's saying that that is dead cat bounce. Okay. If you compare only this quarter, okay, but he's calculating based upon earlier formula, it comes around just 2%. So that is not better. The post-COVID demand weakness is further drop in the private corporate investment to 10%. Before COVID itself, it has come to 11%. Now it has come to 10%. Of the GDP in 21-22, analysts believe that it has remained anemic in 22-23. Data cycle wala, and now also it is down only. That is what they are predicting. Anemic means, anemia means lack of iron content. Okay, that means for investment, it is anemic means lack of investment. They're using our biological terms, medical terms for this economy. Investor recognize new try. It shows lack of something, no? That's why they're anemic. So investments from 17% to coming to 10% now. Investor recognize that while rich Indians helped by the overvalued rupee are buying luxury goods, the majority can barely buy necessities. See, there will be two classes. They are buying luxury goods, fine, but the common man cannot buy everything. That is a real state. Okay. See, data says post-COVID, the saving rate of the people came down by 5%. Andre, whatever their amount was saved now, that they have used for this purpose. 5%. That shows that they are not having money. Income is coming down, so they are taking out of the savings and using it. From 11.9% in 20, Andre, before just on the year of COVID or before that, it was 12%. Those eligible for credit cards are okay. Let's leave it. Just they are telling that the purchasing power of the people is coming down. And government has done corporate tax cut and performance-linked incentive scheme, and shiny flyovers, highways have failed to revive the corporate investment. They tried to reduce the tax so that more people will come and invest in India. All these things. Okay. So that has not improved anyway. Okay. So two side losses. They reduce corporate tax, that much loss, in the hope that more people will come and invest. They did not come. So loss happened, and also tax loss. So that's it. So just they are talking about, don't talk about high growth, so much achievement. So it is actually false. It is not correct. Okay. ಏನಮ್ಮ doubt? Read this. Text and context easy irutte. Is it printed right? Newspaper ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ? ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದಾರಲ್ಲ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಈಸಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಓದಕ್ಕೆ, ಏನು ಕಷ್ಟ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ. ಏನಾಯ್ತು?